Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, in this lecture you will learn about plate tectonic theory. This theory was proposed after continental drift theory because continental drift theory did not explain the mechanisms behind the postulates proposed by Wagner. So this theory basically proposed to describe the underlying mechanisms regarding the theory of Wagner or a scientific explanation of the continental drift theory. Plate tectonic theory was formulated by a Canadian geophysicist, J. Tuzo Wilson, in 1966. The need for this theory was that the Wagner did not explain most of the facts regarding the underlying mechanism or a scientific explanation about continental drift theory. Most of the things explained by Wagner was hypothetically explained, and there was no scientific evidence or scientific explanation about continental drift theory. So this theory may be regarded as a scientific mechanism for hypothesis proposed by Wagner. Now we will discuss the basic principle of plate tectonic theory. The principle of plate tectonic theory is very simple. If we consider our Earth as a sphere, it is divided into different portions. The outermost portion of the Earth crust is called lithosphere. Lithosphere is basically above 100 kilometers, the outermost 100 kilometers of the Earth crust. This Earth crust is composed of 7 major rigid blocks which are called continental plates and several smaller ones. As there are two possible types of Earth crust, the Earth crust may be of land or a continental or an oceanic. So the plates are also of two types. The plate may be continental plate or an oceanic plate. A plate which carry continental crust as well as some of the upper mantle is termed as continental plate. For example, North American plate. On the other hand, if the crust is oceanic crust, which contains the uppermost layer along with some part of the mantle, a plate may carry oceanic crust and the plate is termed as oceanic plate. For example, Pacific plate. So you can say that there are two types of plates, continental plates and oceanic plates. Both of these plates consist of the crust portion and the uppermost mantle portion. The difference is only the land part or a continental part or an oceanic part. These plates are termed as on the basis of this continental plate or oceanic plate. As there are 7 continents, so there are 7 major continental plates are present on this earth, and some major oceanic plates are also there. 5 major oceanic plates are there, so total 12 major plates, tectonic plates are present. These plates are of either continental or oceanic or both continental and oceanic types. The outer surface of lithosphere is rigid and lighter, while the inner portion is more plastic and heavier. In this way, the rigid, lighter and outer lithosphere is supported by a plastic and heavier material below this. This is called asthenosphere. So asthenosphere basically support the outer lithosphere. Tectonic plates are thinnest in oceans. The oceanic plates thickness varies from 50 to 100 km because most of the upper portion is covered by water. Therefore, the plates are thinnest in oceans as compared to the continents. In contrast to the oceanic plates, continental blocks are much thicker. They may be of 100 km, or in some regions it may exceed 150 km in thickness. So these are much thicker than the oceanic plates, or the plates present in oceans. Another basic principle of plate tectonic theory is that each plate moves as a single independent unit in relation to the other plate. It does not depend upon the movement of other plates. Now next is the question that how and why these plates move. The movement is facilitated basically by mobile and plastic nature of the mantle. This nature of the mantle is basically believed to be responsible for providing a push to move these plates. Convection currents, which are very hot, coming from mantle, are responsible for different types of movements in planes, both divergence movement and convergence movement. Both of these movements are present in tectonic plates. If we consider the movement of these plates, these continental plates, we can see that the distances between different locations on Earth's surface may vary along with time. For example, the distance between the two cities which are present on the same plate, for example New York and San Francisco, which both cities are present on North American plate. So the distance between New York and San Francisco will not change along with time, while the distance between New York and London, which are present on different plates, is continuously changing throughout the time. This is an imperceptible rate, which is about 3 centimeter per year. So the distance between New York and London varies along with time, while the distance between New York and San Francisco does not change along with time period. As plates are independent and distinct units, they move independently in relation to the other plates. In this way, all major interactions between the plates occur along with their plate boundaries. All plate margins are frequently areas of considerable earthquake activity and volcanism. Both of these phenomena are very common in the areas where the two tectonic plates are at their margins, at their boundaries. Where two tectonic plates joins, this is the area which is more vulnerable to the earthquake or volcanic activity. The large scale structural features of Earth are continents, oceanic basins, island arcs, oceanic trenches, high plateaus, mountain belts. All of these structural features are thought to be produced as a result of interactions between the plates along with these dynamic margins. These dynamic margins of tectonic plates produce a large variety of structural features of Earth, such as oceans, islands, trenches, plateaus and mountains. So the variety of features of Earth's surface is basically because of these interactions of plates at their margins. This is the map of our Earth 225 billion years ago in the Permian period, when all the continents are joined together. All the continental plates are joined in the form of a major continent, which is called Pangaea at that time. This is the time when all the continents are joined together and they begin to separate from each other at this time. After this time, due to divergence of these plates, these continents get separated from each other and form the modern day world, where we can see the 7 different continents which are far apart from each other as compared to this Permian period Pangaea, which is joined together to form a single major continent. This is the Triassic period map about 200 million years ago. In this period, the northern and southern part of Pangaea get separated by a Tethys Sea. The tectonic plates of these continents diverge from each other, and there is a northern part called Laurasia and a southern part Gondwana. The modern day Europe and Asia is on the northern side, and the southern part is called Gondwana at this time. This is the time which is intermediate between the modern day 7 continental Earth and the old one, which is a single continent called Pangaea. It is the intermediate time when the continents are getting separated from each other. In this map, the southern part, which was called Gondwana land, is diverged again. The major tectonic plates get separated and diverged and forming the different continents. In this map, you can see that the southern Gondwana land is now divided into North America, South America, Australia and Africa. These continents get separated from each other, and diverging plates make these continents independent units. The Eurasian part is still combined in this form and contain Europe and Asia, while the other continents are diverged and getting separated from each other to make the appearance of modern world. All these diverging movements resulted in the map of our today's Earth, where all the continents are present at their specific places which we observe nowadays. Here in this map, you can see that further divergence of continental plates make the shape of today's world, where we can see the major tectonic plates of continents, where all the continents are present at their present position, and they are separated from each other, and there are distinct continental plates which are responsible for this diverging movement and making their way to their present position. Now we will discuss the major plates. The main plates are African plate. This plate covers African continent, and it is a continental plate. Then is Antarctic plate, which covers the continent of Antarctica. It is also a continental plate. Australian plate, covering the continent of Australia, and it is also a continental plate. Then the Indian plate, covering the Indian subcontinent and a part of Indian Ocean. This is a continental plate. And Eurasian plate, covering Asia and Europe. This is also a continental plate. North American plate, covering the continent of North America and Northeast Siberia. This is also a continental plate. Then the South American plate, which covers the continent of South America. It is also a continental plate. So the main plates are all continental plates. These cover the major continents of the Earth. Then there are some minor plates. Notable minor plates include Arabian plate, which consists of Arabian Peninsula, and Caribbean plate, which contain the Caribbean continental islands and along with the Caribbean Sea. Then Juan de Fuca plate, which is present on northwestern side of North America along with the Juan de Fuca ridge, which is present along with the Pacific Ocean in northwestern side of North America. Then there is another plate called Cocos Plate, which is present in western side of the Central America in the Pacific Ocean. This is basically a oceanic plate which is present on western side of the Central America. Next is Nazca Plate, which is present on the western side of the Peru and the eastern coast of the Pacific Ocean. Its name is given against a region present in southern part of the Peru. Peru is an American country, Central American country, and it is present on western coast of the eastern coast of the Pacific Ocean. Then Philippine Sea Plate. This is also an oceanic plate, and it is present beneath the Philippine Sea, and it is also a minor plate which is notable importance and significance. Now we will discuss the boundaries of these tectonic plates. Boundaries are basically the margins of tectonic plates which are responsible for interaction and different types of geological important features. On the basis of the interaction of margins, boundaries of these tectonic plates are divided into three types: the convergent boundaries, divergent boundaries, and transform boundaries. The details of these boundaries will be discussed separately. Here you can see a converging plate boundary. On the left side you can see there is an oceanic plate which bent down to form a trench. On the right side there is a continental plate. The oceanic plate crash into the continental plate, where the melting of this crash resulted in earthquake and volcanism. Thus you can see in this diagram the convergence of an oceanic plate into an continental plate.